There are moments in life when, even surrounded by noise, we hear something, a quiet tug within the soul. It whispers not of who we are, but of who we could be. It is the sacred discomfort that tells us, you were not made for smallness. You were made for more. Every human being carries an inner ache for meaning. This longing is not a flaw. It is evidence that we were designed for a higher purpose. The hunger for greatness is not pride. It is spiritual memory, the faint echo of our origin. We bear within us the imprint of the divine. Creativity, conscience, compassion, and will. These are not random traits but intentional gifts, signatures of a creator who fashioned us for impact. When you feel the desire to change the world, it is not imagination, it is inheritance. Many live beneath their calling simply because they never learned who they are. Identity precedes destiny. When you believe you are ordinary, you will live as if you're limited. But when you realize you are crafted with intention, you stop asking, "Can I?" and begin asking, "How will God use me today?" Divine potential is not activated by wishful thinking, but by disciplined becoming. Growth requires daily renewal of the mind, alignment of actions with values, choosing courage over comfort. The greatest battles you will face are not around you, but within you. The fight between the person you are and the person you're called to be. Most people remain in the shallow waters of life because stepping deeper feels uncertain. But greatness is always found on the other side of fear. Your future is waiting for the moment when faith becomes stronger than your excuses. Do not cling to good enough when you were created for extraordinary. Your potential is not meant for self-glorification, but for service. When you rise, others rise. When you shine, darkness retreats. The world is quietly begging for people who reflect hope, integrity, and courage. You are called to be one of them, not tomorrow, but today. You are more than your past, more than your doubts, and more than the labels placed upon you. The spark within you is divine. Do not let it dim. Step forward, grow upward, and live boldly. Because you were made for more, and now is the time to become it. The longing for something greater than the life we see in front of us is woven into the deepest layers of human nature. Every person, regardless of culture or background, carries an inner restlessness that refuses to be satisfied with routine, survival, or mere comfort. This quiet ache often shows up in unexpected moments, when life finally slows down, when success doesn't feel as fulfilling as imagined, or when the night grows still and our thoughts grow honest. It is the sensation that whispers that we are meant for something higher, something fuller, something that resonates with purpose. Human sociology shows that people everywhere crave meaning because it gives direction to their days and dignity to their hardships. Without it, even pleasure feels empty and accomplishments feel temporary. This is why a person with purpose can endure more than someone with comfort, but no meaning. This longing is not a weakness, it is a compass. It pulls us away from stagnation and moves us toward growth. It challenges the small stories we tell ourselves and replaces them with bigger possibilities. It is the inner voice that says you are not defined by your struggles, your surroundings, or your past. You are shaped by what you were created to become. This sense of inner calling is often misunderstood as dissatisfaction, but in reality, it is the soul pushing us forward because staying still is too costly. People grow frustrated not because they lack ability, but because they sense untapped potential. This unrest is a signal that more is possible. Human beings are wired with imagination, ambition, and moral vision because these traits fuel progress. They are evidence that we are built to reach beyond limitations. When a person feels this internal pull, it is the mind recognizing a larger horizon and the heart refusing to settle for less. This sensation strengthens resilience because it tells us that our efforts matter and our journey has meaning. It inspires courage because it reminds us that comfort is safe but rarely fulfilling. It awakens hope because it assures us that the present is not the final chapter. The longing for more is a universal human pattern, a spark that pushes individuals out of ordinary cycles and into extraordinary possibility. Every person carries within them a unique and undeniable imprint, a mark that hints at something higher than mere biology or coincidence. This imprint shows itself in the qualities that humans naturally possess: creativity, conscience, imagination, compassion, and the ability to dream beyond current circumstances. These qualities are not accidental. They are intentional clues pointing to the greatness we were designed to grow into. When people feel driven to create, to heal, to build, or to love, it is because something inside them is echoing the nature of the one who shaped them. Human beings across every society have an instinctive sense of right and wrong, a desire for meaning, and a longing to contribute to something greater than themselves. This universal pattern reveals that we were formed with purpose and not randomness. This divine imprint also shows up in our hunger to make an impact. We are not satisfied when our lives feel small or unnoticed because we were built to influence our surroundings. Even in the simplest actions, encouraging someone, solving a problem, imagining a better way, there is a spark of something sacred. This inner design pushes us to rise above apathy and to become active participants in shaping our world. Human sociology teaches that people thrive when they believe their lives carry value and direction. When individuals understand that they are crafted with intention, they begin to see challenges as opportunities to use their gifts, rather than obstacles meant to stop them. The divine imprint also shapes the way we care for others. Our instinct to protect the vulnerable, to stand against injustice, and to show empathy reflects a deeper moral blueprint. It tells us that kindness is not just a choice, but part of our design. This inner compass helps communities grow stronger and creates trust between people. It fuels cooperation, innovation, and progress because humans sense that they are connected to something meaningful and moral. When people act with integrity and courage, they are expressing the very imprint placed within them. Recognizing this imprint changes everything about how we see ourselves. It reminds us that we are valuable even when life feels messy, capable even when we feel uncertain, and purposeful even when we cannot yet see the full picture. It awakens confidence, not rooted in ego, but in understanding that our potential was placed in us long before we doubted it. This awareness invites us to rise, to grow, and real transformation begins the moment a person understands who they truly are beneath fear, doubt, and the labels life has placed on them. Identity shapes behavior long before circumstances do, which is why people often live smaller than their potential. Not because they lack ability, but because they lack clarity about their worth. When a person believes they are ordinary, they naturally shrink into routines that feel safe but limiting. Yet, when they recognize they carry purpose, intention, and value within them, something powerful shifts. They begin to make choices that honor their strength instead of protecting their insecurities. Human behavior studies show that individuals rise to the expectations they hold about themselves, proving that identity is one of the strongest forces guiding human action. Awakening to identity means seeing oneself through a lens that is larger than mistakes, failures, or the opinions of others. People often internalize negative experiences and allow them to become personal definitions. A harsh comment from childhood becomes, "I'm not good enough." A past disappointment becomes, "I always fail." A moment of fear becomes, "I'm not brave." These quiet conclusions silently limit progress for years. But when someone realizes those thoughts are not who they are, only shadows cast by fear, they regain the power to rewrite their story. They begin to ask deeper questions. What was I made for? What strengths have I ignored? What possibilities have I denied myself? This shift from doubt to discovery expands their entire outlook. Identity also awakens courage. When people know who they are, they stop waiting for permission to grow. They stop apologizing for their dreams. They stop comparing their journey to the path of others. Instead, they start aligning their daily actions with the person they are becoming. They choose growth over comfort, because they understand that comfort cannot produce the life they desire. They become more resilient because their confidence no longer depends on external approval. They make bold decisions because they trust the internal compass that guides them. A strong sense of identity fuels purpose because people naturally move toward what reflects who they believe themselves to be. When someone finally sees their life as meaningful, they step into opportunities instead of stepping away from them. They speak with intention, act with clarity, and pursue goals with conviction. Identity becomes the foundation on which all growth is built, shaping not only how a person thinks, but how they live, lead, love, and rise. Or live with intention, because our design itself is a declaration that we were made for more. Growth into one's divine potential is not an accident, but a deliberate journey shaped by discipline, intention, and daily choices. Every person carries seeds of greatness, but seeds do not become trees without the consistent environment that allows them to grow. The discipline of becoming is the commitment to align thoughts, habits, and actions with the deeper purpose inside you. It means recognizing that potential is only the beginning, and that transformation requires participation. Human behavior shows that people thrive when their daily routines support their long-term goals, proving that who we become is shaped far more by consistency than by inspiration alone. The mind is the starting point of every change. Thoughts influence emotions, emotions guide decisions, and decisions shape destiny. This is why renewing the mind is essential. When someone feeds on discouragement, comparison, or fear, their life shrinks to match those beliefs. But when they intentionally fill their mind with truth, hope, learning, and courage, they begin to think in ways that empower growth. Over time, strong, positive thinking patterns create inner stability, making it easier to respond to challenges with wisdom instead of panic. The discipline of becoming starts with choosing which thoughts deserve space in your life. Habits follow thoughts. A person cannot become strong by wishing for strength or wise by admiring wisdom. They grow by practicing small actions that shape character. Daily disciplines, reading, reflecting, praying, learning new skills, managing time, or setting goals, may seem simple, but they accumulate into remarkable transformation. Human sociology tells us that repeated behavior becomes identity, which means every small disciplined act is shaping the future version of you. The person who invests in their growth each day is already moving toward the life they hope for, even when progress feels slow. This discipline also involves choosing courage over comfort. Comfort is familiar, safe, predictable, but it rarely leads to purpose. Growth demands stepping into uncertainty, facing fears, and stretching beyond limits. Discipline teaches you to act even when motivation fades, and to push forward even when the path feels unclear. It builds resilience, which becomes the inner strength that helps you rise again after failure. Each challenge becomes a training ground where your potential is refined. The discipline of becoming is not about perfection, but persistence. It is the steady, humble decision to keep improving, to keep learning, and to keep aligning your life with who you were created to be. Through disciplined choices, you transform from who you were into who you are capable of becoming, proving that greatness is not reserved for a few, but available to anyone willing to grow into it. Most people remain in the familiar not because it satisfies them, but because it feels safe. The human mind naturally seeks security, routine, and predictability, even when those patterns limit growth. Stepping beyond the familiar requires courage, because it means trading certainty for possibility and comfort for calling. Yet every meaningful breakthrough in history and in personal life has happened when someone dared to move past what was known. The desire for a greater life is often blocked not by lack of talent, but by fear of the unknown. Fear whispers that change is risky, that new paths might fail, that stepping out might expose weakness. But courage whispers louder, reminding us that staying still carries a greater cost, the cost of unrealized potential and unexplored purpose. The moment a person decides to step beyond what is comfortable, they enter the territory where growth truly happens. Human sociology shows that environments shape behavior, and sometimes the environment we cling to becomes the very thing that restricts us. Familiar routines can quietly create invisible ceilings, convincing us that this is all life can offer. When someone chooses to move beyond those boundaries, they begin to discover strengths they never knew existed. Courage awakens creativity, resilience, and resourcefulness. It reveals how capable the human spirit becomes when it is stretched beyond limitations. Of boldness can influence family members, friends, and entire communities. This is why taking courageous steps is not only a personal act, but a contribution to the world around you. Choosing to step beyond the familiar is choosing to honor your potential. It is refusing to let fear make your decisions. It is embracing the truth that you are capable of more than you have imagined. Each bold step forward shapes a stronger identity, a clearer purpose, and a life that reflects the greatness within you. Living as light in a dim world means understanding that your presence carries influence, whether you realize it or not. Every person radiates something: hope, fear, kindness, frustration, or encouragement, and that energy affects the people around them. Human sociology shows that individuals often mirror the emotional climate of their environment. When you choose to carry light, you become a source of strength for those who feel overwhelmed, a symbol of stability for those facing chaos, and a reminder of goodness for those who have forgotten it. Being a light is not about perfection. It is about choosing to reflect integrity, compassion, and courage even in situations that challenge them. Your divine potential is not meant to be hidden or reserved only for your own benefit. When you use your gifts, your character, and your voice to uplift others, you activate a deeper level of purpose. The world is filled with people who feel unseen, discouraged, or uncertain, and your light may be the clarity they desperately need. Something as simple as speaking kindness, standing for what is right, or offering help can transform someone's day or even their future. These small acts create ripples that spread far beyond the moment, shaping environments where people feel valued and inspired. Being a light also means choosing integrity when shortcuts seem easier. It means staying hopeful when negativity tries to dominate conversations. It means treating others with dignity even when it costs you time or energy. These choices build trust, and trust creates influence. People listen to voices they believe in, and they follow those who demonstrate authenticity. When your actions consistently align with the values you claim to hold, your life becomes a quiet but powerful message of what is possible. In a dim world, your light becomes a contrast. Darkness often shows up as selfishness, dishonesty, or indifference, but light pushes back with empathy, truth, and courage. Every time you rise above negativity, you make the atmosphere around you better. Every time you encourage someone who is struggling, you contribute to healing. Every time you choose hope, you remind others that despair is not the only option. Living as light is a daily choice. It is choosing to show up with purpose, even when you feel tired, choosing to believe in your influence, even when it seems small, and choosing to act with love when the world feels harsh. Your light does not have to be loud to be powerful. Even a small flame can guide others, and your flame has the potential to awaken strength, inspire change, and illuminate the path for countless people who are looking for direction.